All right, guys. Hi,
Hello there.
how are you? We hope you're fine and well, and God is still doing His work in you. Here with Gav again, and today we're going global perspective. Yep, yeah, I'm excited about this. And we are looking at art in society. Uh, Gabriel has given me, is going to give me a very well placed definition of art, and then also explain to me uh, society as he understands it or perceives it. There are two aspects in that: art and then society. So define art or
Art,
arts.
art is basically the representation of creativity, knowledge, or expression of the self.
All right. Creativity, knowledge,
Knowledge,
and expression
expression
of
of the
self.
yes.
And how would you place society?
Oh, that
What is society?
what is society? Hmm. A society is basically a group of people who are basically governed by a certain rule of law.
Okay, what would you say are the cores of art? And give me a background of a little bit of what you would understand by art, because we move from different civilizations. Each civilization has had its own understanding of art, but now that every civilization is actually society, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You had the Egyptians, you had the Romans, you had the Greeks, you have the Mayans. You have all these different societies. So put it in that perspective.
All right. So starting off, when you go to art, like when you start from the Stone Age, you have people who are painting on the walls of caves.
Yes.
Basically, the activities such as hunting, gathering fish, yeah, stuff like that. Then when you move on, you have the age of antiquity or classical history. Basically, where you have where art is really blossoming. You see, the Romans were very good. Actually, very many races that were good at art. The art I like most, this is a joke by the way. The art I like most is that they were making statues of naked dudes. Yeah, I like that art. It's a joke by the way.
Okay, but that was art.
That was art. That is art. Whether it's porn or not porn, it is art.
So you're saying and telling me or informing me that art is what surrounds us in society and how you create the best out of it, right?
Yeah.
So you have these people, ancient people back then used to cover themselves with barks from trees, and then skin from hide from cattle or something like that, and that was fashion, that was art in itself. So
Yeah.
literally everything, even when we go to creation story of God and man, it is all art. You look at the colors, the plants, the birds, it is all beautiful, and that is art in itself. Okay. So another aspect you've put in the definition is knowledge.
Yes.
Tell me about knowledge.
So when you look at art, for example, when we have looked at art from the Stone Age, what do we get to see? We get to see how people back then were like express themselves, how what they were doing, how they did it, and why they did it. So basically, back then, like I said previously, we had hunter gatherers. They would have paintings of themselves describing their activities. And then when you look at those paintings, you get a glimpse as to what they were thinking. Like, let's say, let's go to antiquity, the age of antiquity. So basically, back then, Roman, when you look at them painting, having statues of naked people, you also get an idea of what their morals were. Back then, stuff like that was considered normal, just like slavery was normal. Like no one cared. People, if you conquered a city, you could go in there and just massacre everyone or enslave everyone. No one cares.
So
It's the norm.
do you mean to say war is normal?
War is normal.
Do you mean to say that?
Well, from many quotes I've read from military historians, I can say that for sure. We have to become so fond of war because yeah, it's just one military historian that I read. He said that we should become fond of war. I'm not saying we should become fond of war.
That's quote unquote.
Yes. We should become so fond of war because it's like it brings so much destruction. Like there's a juxtaposition in it.
So it is one thing versus the other thing, but so you mean good and evil coexist?
Yeah, actually, yeah, war is normal to me. It's normal. Actually, if you were to tell me right now, okay, so right now we're living in one of the most peaceful times in history. Because let me tell you, compare war here to what it was like back in 100 BC. You see, like how many? Like 20, not even 20, probably even like 30 nations start fighting each other just for the love of the game. Not because they actually like have a geopolitical interest to keep in mind. They just love war. It's for pride, glory. People just want to, how do I say it, feel themselves because war was seen as such as righteous back then.
So no, I think war is being. It then leads me to the other aspect of self. What did you call it? Self-expression.
Yes, expression of the self.
Expression of the self. Okay, now if it is expression of the self, how do you put expression of the self versus values and beliefs? You know, we all have values and we all have beliefs. Okay, so how would you weigh the two for one to express themselves?
This reminds me of what? This reminds me of something of a life advice that I keep on receiving often, very often. Be yourself. Like okay, what does that mean? Basically, no matter what society thinks or what your peers think or what your bosses think. Okay, maybe what your bosses think, since it's your job, you have to keep it. So basically, you have to, like, okay, would you rather be a slave of the status quo, or would you rather be a free man? That's how I see it. So basically, when it comes to expressing yourself, whether your ideas are unconventional, quirky or not, just do it. If people are going to belittle you, just leave it be. It's your life, it's not theirs. You only live once and you can choose to make the fullest of it, as philosophers like to say. Or you can choose to live your normal life, not trying to take risks, not trying to like get out there and be on the stage.
Now, speaking of which, you know, when we talk about values and beliefs, and you go back in history, you have many societies having their values and their beliefs. The Romans believed something. The Greeks believed something. The Egyptians, and I'm talking about these outstanding civilizations. The Egyptians, believed something or in something. Now, to that end, it then leads me to some of the most prominent, the prominent personalities that we have that stood out in art. People like Leonardo da Vinci.
Yeah.
People like Mozart.
Yeah.
Who else can you point out that stood out for you? And please don't mention Adolf Hitler because he was a painter. No, no, no. Uh-huh. Who stood out for you?
I mean, come on, Adolf Hitler had good paintings.
Okay,
Okay, but aside from him, there's also William Cowper.
okay, tell me about William.
I just like his quotes. I've never read any of his arts.
Also, when you get into writing, you have people like William Shakespeare also.
Yeah.
Okay, that was art. The way he plays around with language, the way Leonardo da Vinci brings out the human anatomy, and then brings out architecture, and then most people think the Wright brothers are the ones who were the first to think of flying. It was actually, I think, Leonardo da Vinci who tried it out. And when you go into different subjects are actually art. Even physics is an art, although people want to call it a science.
Basically, it basically leads to this kind of war, kind of. So it's basically when you go into science side, you basically hear the physicists and chemists saying that every subject is a science, geography, history, and then when you come to the artists who do painting, music, and all that, they say that every single subject is an art, even the physics and chemistry. So you lead to this back and forth, and it's almost like a stalemate. You just pick your side.
We are connected to a universe which is artistic in nature, so that's why we try to do expressions. Art also is an expression. Some of your favorite genres of music is
J-pop.
hip hop, Japanese. Oh, tell me about it.
Okay, what is about it is that, okay,
how is it different from the regular hip hop that we have?
The main difference between
the mainstream hip hop.
That main difference between Japanese pop and the mainstream hip hop is that when it's a woman singing, it sounds like moaning. When I say moaning, I mean that kind of moaning.
Okay. And so that's what makes it unique, in a way.
If I were to tell most of my friends what I listen to, like I show them the songs I listen to, they would think I'm a weirdo that just likes listening to Asian girls, cute Asian women moaning.
and then again, you're a poet.
Yes.
That's an art in itself.
Yeah.
Tell me about your poetry and what you want, because you in your poems you want to express something, and we agree that art is an expression. It's also creativity. So tell me about your expression in poetry. What is it exactly you're trying to connect, because that is connection.
Well, my main philosophical my main poetic style is basically introspection, which is basically the study of human beings and the self. And then there's epistemal or I don't know how to say it. Epistemal or do you know how to say it?
Epistemology.
Yes, that. Basically, what ideas are right and justified.
Yes, epistemology, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. And then also that, aside from that, I basically cover, like, how do I say this? Emotions, like I try to evoke emotive language in all of my poems. And what else? It's always a coherent structure in my poems. When you look at my poems, at least my newer poems, basically discover that these poems are always about what is it to be yourself, what am I supposed to do in life. That's basically the life. That's basically the main life lessons. All of my newer poems, at least, try to cover. Those are the core ones, and then there are also life lessons there are other unique life lessons that my poems try to teach, but those two are the general ones.
So basically, that's how you try to connect with, and You need to make money off your poetry, please.
How? How do I do that, by the way?
Guys, he's a good poet and
Great poet, professional even.
actually a great poet. And please, when he puts his poems out there, read them, ask questions, try to understand them, try to interpret them. That's what it's all about. Okay.
I'll give my contacts in the description and in the YouTube comment section.
All right, that's very good. Now tell me about culture as an art, and then norms as another version of an art in society. Culture and then norms.
Culture and then norms. The thing is, you always hear what's funny about that question, kind of, is that those two words are usually put together like cultural norms.
Yeah, we put in a sentence.
Yes.
Let's try to dissect them. And
so what I see, culture is basically the acceptable way in which you are supposed to behave in a society, while norms is basically like the normal behaviors or
what society considers normal.
Yes.
Because what Japanese consider normal may be abnormal to an African setting.
Abnormal. If you okay, as a person who kind of goes into Japanese culture a lot, do you know that they consider, like, how do I say this? 2D art, like 2D animation as well.
Yes.
So they consider drawings of naked 6-year-olds to be normal. A lot of Japanese people, because it's fictional, they give that excuse all the time. They feel the urge to draw a fictional 6-year-old who is completely naked, and the excuse for it, or is it's fictional, nothing else. Just tell us you're a porn addict.
Exactly. Now, it moves from because why are we saying culture and norms is some societies consider particular foods being eaten as being, for them, it's their delicacy, and yet in other societies, it is disgusting. Okay.
Hey, do you know what I've seen one time when I was looking at Chinese food? They think Chinese eat a bull's penis, some of them, and they think it's normal.
And this thing said about,
and they don't even cook it that well, by the way.
And
no wonder why COVID-19 started there.
Our Chinese friends who are watching this, please don't get offended. Please.
Yeah.
We're just sharing ideas. For them, some would say, having frogs or snakes as a delicacy is normal. And for us, back in Africa, it is abnormal.
Yeah, very much so. Except if you're a witch doctor.
And then exactly. Except if you're a native doctor, like I would put it. And then what do you say about the Indians? Let's talk about the population, the most populous countries.
India
and China.
Okay, you want me to talk about India? You want me to talk about their culture?
Not offensively, because we have some Indian friends watching us.
I'll try to control my impulsive urge, because I have a lot to say about that country.
Talking about the congestion and them being having a filthy city.
And then them having no civic sense. Zero. Come on. How do you even let Ugandans beat you in civic sense?
Kampala is also filthy. You know that.
It's filthy, but even Ugandans... No, have you seen a Ugandan pooping in the streets like Tajit in India and Mumbai?
Our Indian viewers, please forgive us for that. But India, Bombay, Delhi, namaste, my friend. Namaste. Namaste. Okay, Now, let's talk about religion and belief as an art. What do you say? What's your view about that? Religion and belief as an art.
For me personally, when you tell me what is religion and like your beliefs as an art, when like in poetry, sometimes I mix religion and my beliefs and put it as a poem. I mix it with my poetry and just put it in there. What my beliefs and what my religion entails. Sometimes even my political ideals. So you can mix those. Like let's say, if like you can mix religious ideals with a medium of expression, such as painting. You can draw a paint. Let's say you can do as the Romans did, whoever did that, and just draw a pic and just draw something you naked, and then God is like touching your finger, whatever that painting was about.
Okay, that was God's touch, that finger.
That finger, like there's some naked guy, and then God is like touching his finger.
And then the cherub angels and all these kind of paintings.
Yeah, that's how you can mix religion in a medium of expression.
Yes. This is normally with the Roman Catholic cathedrals. They have that kind of art. Okay. And then, what do you think should be? What is your belief? Would you place art as a belief? Is art a belief?
Is art a belief? Art is a belief that you can express your free will. Now those are bars.
That's very good. That's very good. So it's a belief that you can express yourself.
Yes.
Okay, guys, that was what we had to say about art in society. We're looking at art in itself and then society on the other hand, and then putting them together. And we have talked about various things. Thank you so much. For any last words?
So basically, we also have an online school.
Yes.
Which is basically where we teach people how to write, poetry, creativity, that stuff like that. It's mainly about writing.
Yes.
Like we just help improve your writing skills. In English, by the way, in English.
Very true.
Spanish. We can do Spanish next year since I'm going to get fluent in it.
Are you going to share your contact right now? Like, tell us your number.
Oh, in my WhatsApp. Okay, so guys, I'm going to say my WhatsApp number right now. So it's 0708 847 611.
Okay, and mine is 0751 31 04 60. Okay.
That's our WhatsApp. You can contact us about that school, or you want our works, like stuff like that.
And please, you can also contact him if you need to read his poetry. He's very good. He's great. Like you put it, he's great. Thank you so much for watching.
So that is it for today. Tune in for next time. Remember to like and subscribe. Comment what you want to hear. What you want to hear from us next time, and basically give us a review. We will be delighted to hear what you have learned or what you think we should improve. Thank you.
All right. God bless.
God bless.